Well, in front of the President's reviewing stand, the Texas Aggie Band has passed by, I think now, and the 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment from Lubbock, Texas, Robert E. Lee High School Band from Midland, Texas, all represented, passing by in front of the official reviewing box as this inaugural parade for the 41st President of the United States passes by. Now the first of the Indiana floats, State Seal of Indiana, to be followed by the Black Horse Troop of Culver Military Academy and the Culver Girls Academy from Culver, Indiana, the Huntington North High School Band from Huntington, Indiana, Dan Quayle's hometown, and the theme float, the theme of the inauguration, Peace, Prosperity, and Independence. All that will be passing by in front of President George Bush, First Lady Barbara Bush, our new Vice President Dan Quayle, and Marilyn Quayle. Speaker Tip O'Neill with us here in the booth. You served in the House of Representatives with George Bush. He served 2 terms before he quit to run for the Senate. Let's speak candidly here. What kind of congressman was he?
George, as a matter of fact, almost I think his freshman year, he went on the Ways and Means Committee. So he had tremendous clout within his own party, been able to do that. Once you make the Ways and Means Committee, of course, you're a man to be watched in the Congress of the United States. He was a very talented fellow, very, very popular man when he was in the Congress of the United States. Stayed there for 4 years in the House, and of course went back to run for the Senate. He had a tremendously wide experience. I'd have to say he's a man of the government.
And now let's pause to watch and listen to some of the pride of Indiana. The young men and women of Indiana march by in front of that son of Indiana who's become our new Vice President. Ed Bradley, this is the Huntington High School Band from Dan Quayle's hometown in Huntington, Indiana, where he went back after getting the nod from George Bush to be Bush's running mate and held what is now at least many famous news columns.
It's interesting, Dan, that 2 things I noticed about this band. First, I thought we were going to lose a couple of the horses in the Culver unit that came by in front of them. I thought they did a real good job in keeping those horses under control.
Oh, Ed, I love this float. Look at this theme float. I love this thing.
That's beautiful.
Peace, Prosperity, and Independence. The float also appeared in the 1989 Rose Bowl parade.
You also had a handicapped saxophone player in the high school band from Dan Quayle's alma mater, playing the saxophone and being pushed along in a wheelchair, which was pretty nice, I thought.
Now, right behind, oh, I love that theme float. That's a beauty, isn't it? Now, Charlie, you can go to goat ropings and county fairs and a lot of things and not see anything beat that.
I think this is undoubtedly the richest, most gravy-laden of all the parades we've ever had down Pennsylvania Avenue. Speaker O'Neill, who's sitting next to me, has a longer memory than I have, but this is the flashiest parade I've seen on this street.
Speaker O'Neill, you also served...
There's no question about that. Something new every 4 years.
You also served in the House when you were Speaker of the House with Dan Quayle. He was a congressman before he became a senator, before he became vice president. What kind of congressman was he?
Well, actually, I can truthfully say I don't believe I ever met Dan Quayle. I knew he was the great golfer, but that's not unusual for the Speaker. I knew probably everybody on the Democratic side and probably 65 and 165 on the Republican side. Fellows that have served in the Congress and served in committees with him say he's a very able and talented fellow, and he got a bad deal in the fall. So let's give him a new start and let's see what he has and hope for the best for America.
Well, I have to be, a lot of people are saying amen to that.
Sure.
But I want to, ooh. Take it away, Ed Bradley.
She tossed that one pretty high. There, she got it again. You can see the explanation from the President and Mrs. Bush. I mean, she tossed that thing almost as high as the presidential seal and came down with it.
Let me tell you, if you can't have a really good drum majorette for the Purdue University All-American Marching Band, where are you going to find one?
Here comes another one.
I guess majorettes, Charles Gerald, have gone a little out of fashion in the 70s and 80s. You still see them at certainly Big Ten and Southwest Conference football games and on the West Coast, but they've gone a little out of fashion.
It's a high school thing, you know. In the little country high schools, frequently they don't have sports teams for the young women, and what they aspire to do is learn to twirl that baton. And some of them out there in the country get pretty good.
Well, we have the Purdue University All-American Marching Band, the Marion County Sheriff's Precision Motorcycle Drill Squad, then the Clay City High School Marching Band, all these from Indiana. Let's take a listen. Well, if you saw the movie Hoosiers, you know who they are.
There are 49 civilian bands in this parade. If every band had come, which wanted to come, I suppose there have been 2,049. It takes a little political pull. You have to know somebody. And of course, if you're from Indiana, you know somebody, the new vice president.
Not only in the bands,
of
on the
Congress
review.
at this particular time of the year after the election, he at least gets 3 calls from local bands. Can he see if he can use a little power to get them in the parade?
I expect that's true, Mr. Speaker. Ed, you were about to say something.
Well, I noticed that there was one band in the parade still to come. It's the Strom Thurmond High School Band. The fact that the president's campaign manager, Lee Atwater, started his political career with Strom Thurmond probably helps him out. This is their second parade.
Well, they haven't come into view yet. What we're seeing here now is the end of the Indiana contingent. And the Purdue All-American Marching Band, Purdue, Notre Dame, of course the University of Indiana, Bobby Knight's Fighting Indiana Hoosier basketball team, known all over the country. Small to medium-sized state with more than its share of great universities. And as the Purdue band passes by in front of President Mrs. Bush, we'll be right back with more of this great parade.